Your business model?
Yeah, so when I first started my business 6 years ago, so I worked in corporate for many, many years. I used to do travel years and years ago, and then I came up with the idea of doing coaching and travel together. I bought the franchise, and I did tie it in together. So I wanted to be TICO certified. I don't know, TICO certified is, and I don't know if it's something that's more Canadian, but it's when you end up booking a trip for somebody, if let's say the airline goes down or something happens financially, that you're not stuck with that, that your clients are going to be able to get back.
Right.
So it's like a compensation fund. You have to go through a certification for that, and I wanted to be TICO certified for that. So that's why I bought the travel agency franchise at the time.
And what made you decide to actually do the travel portion of that in addition to the coaching portion? What was that?
Because to me, I remember that moment when I was 20, and I was sitting there, and I always wanted to go to France, and I wanted to see the Eiffel Tower, and I laid there in the grass and looked up there, and I just, that moment of like the goosebumps that went through you, that I'm here, and that feeling of, oh my gosh, seeing people with baguettes going by, listening to the waiters speaking, things they were doing, it was just like this eye-opener for you. So, I had to go through that corporate journey of I don't know how long, not listening to that I was an entrepreneur. I mean, I was selling tadpoles when I was 6. You think I would have known at that point that's who I am. But I went through that corporate journey of working sales up to director and had all that stuff. When really what was important was that feeling, that aha moment that takes you to where you need to go in life and business.
So when you decided to actually, doing the travel portion for your clients as well as the coaching portion of the business, because that's a part, I don't do any of the travel portion of things, so I'm interested to know, I mean, what made you decide to do that travel portion, not just travel yourself, I mean, that's, yes.
Yeah, okay, we're going to do questions at the end.
Yeah, okay, at the end of the session.
Okay, so am I done my portion?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Oh, so sorry.
It's not working anyway.
It's not working, so I will speak as it is. Okay. My name is Rosita Kaplan, and I'm coming from Israel. I don't know how many of you know that the tourism industry is one of the most growing industry in the world. More than almost 1 million people travel each year. And for the last 20 years, I spent in the travel business. I worked for the Ministry of Tourism of Israel for almost 20 years. I do different positions, and in my last position I was the consul for tourism in New York. And when I finished my work in the government, I moved to the private sector. And I deal with bringing tourists to Israel, tourism to Israel. You know that the main reason why people come to Israel is people come for pilgrimage because it's the homeland of the three monotheistic religious. People come because historical, archaeological reason, whatever it is. But in tourism, you're always looking, when you work in the tourism industry, you're always looking for the next trend. For example, there was time, I don't know if you remember, when I was young, we used to go from 5 countries to Europe for 20 days. We were running from one place to another just to manage to achieve to see as much as we can. Then we have a tour like we went, more for exotic place, South America, the Far East, whatever it is. Lately, people going on bicycle, food, different niche that each time there is a new trend and you're looking for what is going to be the new trend. But what happened to me is in the last 1.5 years, I was in Israel. I was one of the leaders of a movement of women. Women wage peace. It's a movement in Israel of women that decided they are fed up with the war and they want to bring the peace with the Palestinian partner. And that's how I was exposed to the strength of women. I understood that this is a real, besides just a support group, it's the new coming force, if you can say so. And besides this, it's a network, it's a wonderful networking. We have there 20,000 women in Israel, and we work together, and then I find out that actually women, it's a new and a very strong, what she found a long time ago, but I managed to find out that women, it's actually the new trend, if you can say so, in tourism. And it's mean that why is it so? Because women are the decision maker. Women are those usually In these days, there are much more divorced women. Women live long, and they really want to spend time together because it's empowered them. And at the same time, they want to do this. They want to go and to explore another world, another society, and it's really enrich you. I just can give you an example. I went now to Morocco for 15 days with my 3 boys. My husband celebrated his 60th birthday, and we asked him where you want to go for his 60th birthday. He said Morocco. And what really impressed me, that although we live in Israel in coexisting society, all of a sudden, my boys, I have 3 boys, they keep telling me, you know, Mom, all of a sudden I see the Islamic world from a different perspective. So for me, it was, even though we live in a place and we're supposed to know this kind of culture, all of a sudden we have a new experience, and they say it's make us think a lot. And what I believe that will be the new trend in the industry is to combine, and not just to do a tour to explore another world, but to do things which can combine. To go to a place and to do a workshop, to go to a place and to do volunteering, to go to a place to empower the people in this place, women. So it's a chance for you to get to know, and it can combine people from different countries. It doesn't have to be a group that come from Israel. It can be a group of women. That's why my colleagues here for me are important, because maybe I can make some connection with them, and to do something that that combine tourism, human being, getting to know other people, and helping women in the third world. So this is my image, and that's what I thought, where you can buy empower women and tourism. Thank you.
If the microphone is working, I might take you. It's not. Okay, I'll try to speak loudly. I'm Sue. I'm a strategic consultant based in Singapore. I'm not in the travel industry whatsoever. I'm a backpacker, or really a flash packer these days. I first left home at 19, and that was 26 years ago, and I haven't stopped travelling since. And it's been 16 years since I've lived in Australia as a result of that, and that first trip was hugely defining for me and has shaped my values, it's shaped my career as well. You know, what I really learnt on that first trip was take responsibility, stand on my own 2 feet, and really remain calm in unfamiliar circumstances, but also hugely critically to be boundlessly curious and have empathy for people, and tolerance as well. And so I think with today's, or this week's conference about uniting and uplifting, and I think that that's very true for travel, and I think the more travelling that we can do, and particularly from a young age, is really going to help improve the world, particularly in the globalised world that we live in. And I've been really fortunate to have my career in regional and global roles. I pursued that because of my interest in travel, and so I've been able to travel the world professionally, which has been fantastic, and go into people's homes in small towns in India or Fifth Avenue, New York, which has been great. And I just think my biggest tip for travelling, and particularly if you've got young children out there, is to do same-sex travel. So once male friends, I've travelled with my husband, and every trip is truly spectacular. But the biggest adventures by far have been when I've been travelling with a girlfriend. And it's not just because of obviously the fun of travelling with a girlfriend. You're more approachable to other people. So whether that's other travellers, whether it's locals, whether it's in the hostel that you're staying in, or when you're out on the street, and locals try and take care of you. And I think you just have so much more enriching experiences when you do same-sex travel. And that's
I have a loud voice in any case. So, my name is Kumud Sen Gupta. I am from India, but I live in Dubai for the last 20 plus years. Um, I have been doing travel research for more than 25 years. Yeah, and I work with the UN World Tourism Organization. And therefore, when I do this research, I am talking to travelers. I'm talking to women travelers. We are trying to understand what motivates them to travel. Why do they want to go to different places? What are the perception of different places? How do they feel when they have been somewhere? And that has given us, or given me, great insights into travel by women and men, of course. And let me tell you one thing. What's the topic? Do we have the topic here? Women as global travelers, let's say. Yeah, women as global travelers. Is it an industry in the making? We have 1,500 women almost, few men, yeah, 1,500 women who've come here from more than 100 countries, right? Travel from all over the world. Is there any doubt? There is no doubt, right? And women have been traveling. Even when I was a child, my mother would take me in the holidays and my brother and sister to meet her mother. We would travel by bus, we would travel by train. You know, I come from a small little town near Delhi, 3 hours away. That was travel. So women, without her husband who's busy working, my father was a businessman, women have been traveling, you know, so whether it is within the country or outside. And as an industry, why are we labeling it now as a, you know, women travelers, a global industry to reckon with? Because the travel industry has been usually, till now, a male dominated industry. Okay, it's very nice to label this as a women, you know, sort of coming of age kind of an industry, simply because they haven't been focusing on women all this while, and you need different niches to make the industry grow, right? To make the market grow. Anyhow, the issue here is women are more educated today. They are more empowered. They are working and saying, okay, I'm going to set up home a little later. Let me sort of experience life. And therefore, a lot more travel is happening. Okay. And when women travel, there's the world opens up, like she rightly said, Anita said. It's much more than that. Because they are working women, they're traveling as business women. They're making connections, both business as well as on the leisure front, right? And when you make business connections, it leads to revisits with the family, and you are spending more, you're traveling to more places, the world opens up to you, right? And surveys tell me, since I'm in the survey and research business, different surveys tell me that women business travel is going to grow 400% over the next 10, 15 years. So TripAdvisor did a survey which said that women, so business travel is one part of it, but leisure travel also, women are saying, I'm going to do it. You're coming with me or not, doesn't matter, right? And a survey was done with 9,000 women in multiple countries. And women said that the global average of women wanting to travel solo was 74